Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. It is Julie of Julie's Plans. Thank you so much for joining me today. And in today's video, I am going to be filling out my power sheets for the month of February. So I have really been wanting to share my power sheets for a really long time. I really didn't do a whole lot of that last year with my power sheets. To be quite honest, it's kind of nerve-wracking to share these things. And I feel like and this is just my opinion, if you are really working your goals and doing the goals that really matter to you, it's going to be messy and it's not going to be perfect and it's not always going to be Instagram worthy, that kind of stuff. And I feel like we can all get kind of caught in this trap where if my power sheets and things don't look a certain way, then it's not going to be good enough. And that's the trap that I fell into. I didn't want to share my power sheets when they were messy and ugly. Like, I feel like when you're setting goals, it's not about having the most perfect looking tending list. Like, mine is kind of a mess right now. But I really wanted to share that. And I shared some of my goals in my previous 2020 goals video, and I kind of shared that I was using the power sheets, but that doesn't go to say that I think that this is the perfect planning system. As a matter of fact, I find some parts of the power sheets to be a little bit they're so repetitive that it's aggravating to me, because I feel like I'm wasting time saying the same thing I just said. And that really hasn't changed. After a year of using the power sheets, there are some pages that I'm like, why is this here? We just wrote this down on the previous page. Like, it's almost like talking your goals to death. And I feel like maybe some people might need that, but when I'm like, this is what I want to get done and this is how I want to do it, I don't need to write it out 1,200 times to get to that point. I'm just being 100% transparent here, and I hope that you guys can appreciate that and understand that. While I do love the value that goal setting can bring, and in particular the power sheets, there are some drawbacks for me personally. So here is a look at my January tending list. I will be quite honest, the daily habits at the bottom are not something that I always look at, and as you can see, I started off the first 2 days of the year and then just stopped. I did check in with all of my other goals that I had set out for the month, but I feel like I track these things in other places, so I didn't really need to keep coming back here again to do that in another system. I don't know. I really struggled with that part this month. So some of the goals that I did set were to pay our HOA fee. That got done. Purge and organize our 2019 files. That's still a work in progress, but nonetheless, progress. Purge and reorganize the hall closet. That got done. February YouTube schedule. That did get done. February budget. Done. Pay off a credit card. Done. Best thing ever. Tax prep, I kind of marked that as halfway, even though technically the prep that this meant is done, which that meant getting all of our tax forms, like the tax forms for the houses that we own, from income that we make, college stuff for our daughter, things like that. We actually have all of those. So that part of the prep is actually done. So moving on to January, the month in review, I did fill out this sheet. Again, this is one of those sheets where I'm like, I'm not really sure how this is helping me. But I filled it out anyway. So this month I'm especially grateful for it. And I just put supportive family and friends and coworkers. There was just a lot going on at work, and I really do appreciate those people that really understood the details of what was happening and were there and just put a smile on my face, especially when you need it the most. Goals that are growing well. I'm telling you, when I wrote this in, I seriously thought it said going well, and this says goals that are growing well. So I put moving forward with home projects and financial goals. We did really follow through with a really big goal for our house this past month. Now that project won't start until April, but we moved forward with just one of the biggest home projects we will have ever done in this home, and we purchased this home 5 years ago. So we're just now starting to dive into changing some things. Like, I'm not talking about decor or paint, like major things in our home, and we signed a contract, really just solidifying this project being done in April, and I'm beyond excited. Someone that I'm grateful for, again, my work people. They're the reason that I still work where I work. Another person that I'm grateful for is my husband, just for listening when I needed to just talk and be heard, and you know, when you just need someone to listen and not turn around and give you advice, that he's definitely that for me. Something that I'm choosing grace over guilt for is my move goal. I did not achieve my move goals, like exercise goals that I really wanted to achieve in the month of January, just dealing with some back issues and a leg injury that I have talked about repeatedly, but I am starting to feel better, and hopefully February is a better month. Progress I am celebrating, even if it was small, was my weight loss. Kind of teetering between 4 and 5 pounds that I've lost in the month of January, so that was amazing considering I didn't achieve my move goal. Favorite memory of this month is probably traveling to Orlando. It's always fun to see friends, especially in the planner community. A good lesson I learned was to take it slow in January. I can't even stress that enough. I feel like January is the month where we expect everything to just sort of take off, like we're like a rocket launching, right? And like everything is supposed to be go, go, go. We're achieving this, checking off this, doing this, and all of these things. And I realized I'm doing just fine at my own pace, even if it's a little bit slower than everyone else. Things that I'm saying no to: internet guilt. That is a whole other video topic, and I'm probably going to film a video just on the guilt yep. And what I'm saying yes to is happiness, and embracing my misspelling of the word happiness. You guys don't realize how many times I misspell things, and people will DM me just to tell me I misspelled things, and guess what? I don't care. Moving on. I did take a lot of notes so that I wouldn't lose track of what the heck I was writing in here, and this video wouldn't be 500 years long. So I'm going to work on my important to-dos, things I'm excited for, what's on my mind, worries and stresses, and things that I am hopeful for, and I'll come back and sort of talk you guys through that. All right, so here we are. Again, I don't really focus on perfectly neat handwriting in here. Again, I feel like that totally defeats the purpose of setting goals and just embracing the whole working it out kind of process. It's not supposed to be perfect, right? So in my prepare well area in my important to-dos, I really want to focus on decluttering my planner things. I just have way too much stuff. I've been trying to buy less or buy more intentionally, but I also do get sent a lot of things, and I don't want to hold on to them and not use them when they can go to a better place. So I do have a D-stash account that I'll be setting up. So for the things that have been sent like PR, it'll be like just pay the shipping if it's something that you're interested in, because obviously I'm not going to charge for something that was sent to me for free. But yeah, those things have to go instead of taking up space, and someone else can actually get use out of them instead of it just sitting in my closet. Taxes, again, the progress will be just to work on that a couple of hours per week. I do our own taxes, so it is very time consuming, and it is a lot to just sit there and try to do it all in one session. So I'm really hoping to just sit down and work on those throughout this month and the month of March. So you'll see this probably again for the month of March. Endocrinology paperwork, that is a whole dramatic event in and of itself. Nathan's prom prep. Prom is in March, so we are full steam ahead in prom season, and we need to work on so many things to have him ready. Jesse's truck maintenance. He is due to take his truck in to get just its regular maintenance, and I need a hair appointment like nobody's business. So What I'm excited for, obviously in the month of February, there's like a date night on Valentine's Day, I guess. But we want to incorporate at least a couple of date nights. I'm really excited about that. Reading a new book. Moxie Life has a reading book club on Facebook. I'll try and remember to link it down below, but if you follow them on Instagram, you'll be able to find it through there. And they are reading Atomic Habits, and I really just loved being a part of a book club. I feel more motivated to stay on track with reading when I do that, and I did that last month in Cindy Lamaletter's book club, and that was a lot of fun. Another thing I'm excited for is Go Wild Prep. I have actually already ordered some roommate gifts and gifts for some friends, which is something I've never done just because I always feel like there's a lot of pressure with that, but I really do have a great circle of friends that I want to include this year and give them some gifts when I get to see them, so that's going to be fun. On my mind, things that are worrying and stressing me out, and I don't know why, and this is part of where the power sheets I feel get super emotional for me, but I really wanted to be true and honest with the things that are stressing me out and just write them down and sort of like word vomit them here on my power sheets. But things that are stressing me out is being left out. I'm always that person that's like, am I missing out on something? Is there an inside joke that I probably didn't get because I wasn't a part of the event or whatever? Those things really weigh on me emotionally. I mean, I am a human being, you know, and it sucks to be left out of things. It sucks to feel like, you know, you thought that you were a part of something and then maybe you're actually not, and then you kind of the last one to figure that out. But anyway, that's just how I'm feeling, and I just wanted to share that and be real with you guys. Another thing is this whole thing right here, not using my time well enough or falling into this comparison trap. Now, I speak on this specifically coming from someone that is in the planner community and is very much in it, right? You see a lot of people that are like, I'm doing this from this time to this time and this to this time, and they have every single second of their day life planned out. And here you are on like your 12th episode of, I don't know, rewatching Game of Thrones, I don't know, and you feel like the most unproductive person, but you are happy, but you just realize that someone else has their shit seemingly more together than you do because you're watching TV and they are, I don't know, just, yeah, I don't really know how to describe it, but it is something that has been on my mind. I don't have to do things like everyone else. If I'm not planning every single flipping second of my day, that doesn't mean that I am not a productive person and that I am not living my best life. I actually am living my best life by doing it my way. There's that. That's been weighing on my mind. And what I'm hopeful for this month is that I can reach my move goals. I am feeling better physically, so that is amazing. And I know that moving will help me feel better mentally, and I really, really need that. And overall, it's all going to work out. I just know that it is. All right, so on to the next page. I don't use the monthly view in the power sheets. I don't find it very useful for myself. So let me move my notes out of the way. And I'm just going to go over the goals that I'm setting for the month. So on this page, these sort of give you what you're focusing on this month and some possible action ideas that I'm just going to write them out and then come back. All right, so I really write kind of fast in here, just kind of like fast and furious, just get it all out. So I did put down my taxes. I do want to work on those 1 to 2 hours per week. I have found that that is kind of like my limit. And then I just want to run away and never see any tax documents for forever. So endocrinology stuff, this has been like a very frustrating experience. I am switching endocrinologists and I'm really due to see one like ASAP. And it's been a little bit annoying because this new doctor requires all sorts of documentation that no other doctor on the face of this earth asks for just to be seen. So I'm trying to comply so that I can see this new endocrinologist, because after that I'm out of options and I will have to go back to the incompetent endocrinologist that is an hour and a half away from my house. So as you can tell, it is a very it's a very hard topic for me to talk about because it makes me very angry. All right, decluttering the planner stuff. I'm gonna work on focusing on doing once a week, sort of posting a few things on a D-Stash Instagram. I will try to let you guys know when I actually do that, but I'm gonna try to do it once a week and see how that goes. Date nights, we do have something planned already for Valentine's Day. We're gonna do some axe throwing, because nothing says I love you like throwing a sharp object. And then maybe one additional dinner night. I would like to do that twice in the month of February. Workout plan, I actually think I wrote plan it out on Sunday. I think I'm gonna actually do Wednesday too, like just sit down like midweek and see where I'm at. Like if on Monday and Tuesday I haven't done anything, really sit down and figure out why it is I haven't worked out, things like that. Meal plan, I really needed to write, like change it up here, because I feel like in a meal plan rut, and it happens every couple of months. I get in like a really good groove, but I'm sort of making the same things over and over again, and I'm getting bored and not inspired to cook, which then leads to eating out, and yeah, it's all downhill from there, right? Because then I'm not reaching my financial goals because I'm spending money eating out. Oh my gosh, so I really, really want to focus on really dealing with the meal plan and working on that for this month. All right, and so on to the tending list. You have an area here for encouraging words and your top priority. I put a quote in my February plan with me in my life planner, and it was a quote from Amy Landino's book, Good Morning, Good Life, which was part of Cindy's book club, and it's really just stood out with me, and it was the quote that I used for February in my life planner, so I'm gonna use it here, and it is respecting your time is respecting yourself, and I love that. And then my top priority for the month of February is me. There. Okay. All right, so let's talk about my monthly action items. Again, I feel like this is where we get kind of like repetitive. I've already talked about taxes and decluttering and prom and all of those things, but now I'm going to put those things over here and then track my progress here. Okay, so my big goals for the whole month, and I did add in some other things that I hadn't talked about before. So the obvious ones are taxes and the declutter and prom prep and the date nights. Some additional things are spring yard prep, hopefully by the end of February. We can get those done because March here is a little late for yard prep for spring. It starts to get warm really quick here. Another thing is Kayla's birthday. She will be turning 21 in March. And then I would like to at least get or schedule a facial. I've never in my life had one, and I'm going to be 42 in May, and that is just a damn shame. So I would like to schedule myself a facial. If I don't get one in February, I would at least like to schedule it. And oh, I forgot to add, I need to schedule my hair appointments. So I can definitely get that done this month. I just need to see when it's going to be, but I definitely need to schedule that. And then of course I have my March content calendar that I need to get done. Of course I wrote February. And then March budget. So on to my weekly action items. Okay, so I have put on here workout 3 to 4 times per week, meal plan, connect with friends, birthdays. I have been sucking in the happy birthday wishing category, so I really want to make sure I get into the habit of checking whose birthdays are coming up for the week and make sure that if I don't send them a card, at least send them a note, a message, a text, something just to acknowledge that I love them and appreciate them and want to wish them a happy birthday and an amazing upcoming year. Family time, I want to make sure at least once a week that we are doing an activity together as a family, whether it be watching a movie, going out to dinner, just a game night, something, just to make sure that all 4 of us connect as a family. Now I'm going to move on to my daily action items or habits. So those are going to be pretty straightforward. I do want to improve my water intake. And I do want to continue to do, I can't really write out my AM routine and my PM routine here because there's not enough space, but I do want to make sure that I'm following my routines along with reading at least a little bit daily and then some time to unplug, typically an hour or 2 before bed. That's would be my perfect goal, but sometimes I just get sucked back into my phone. It is like the worst thing ever. So that is everything for my February goals. This looks like a complete hot mess, but it is what it is, right? These are goals at their finest. It's supposed to be a mess. It's supposed to be a work in progress. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions about anything that I talked about here, please feel free to ask down in the comments below. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I hope that you will stick around and subscribe. If you're already subscribed, make sure you hit that notification bell. I do post new videos every single week here on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video.